Welcome to Voices in Mystery. I'm your host, Nancy Carlson. And our first guests today wrote an anthology together. They edited an anthology together. And they are Perona and Brenda Stewart. Thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Tell us about your anthology.
It is a collection of 19 short stories, and they're all written around the Indianapolis 500.
Wow.
So we've got a theme. It's called Racing Can Be Murder.
And each of us has a story in it as well.
Such an iconic symbol for Indianapolis. So did you have to get permission to use the words Indianapolis 500 or anything like that?
Boy, do we want to go to no.
I mean,
we really want to go there.
It's an icon, you know.
It is an icon. It is an icon. And we were very fortunate. The 500 was extremely cooperative.
They were very nice.
They were really wonderful, and even to the point where we
That's
had
an actual painting of the track.
of the track
And they gave us permission.
to use it, which was really very helpful.
That is beautiful. So did you solicit Indiana writers who know how treasured the 500
These
is?
are all members of Sisters in Crime.
The Sisters in Crime Indiana chapter.
So you used it as a fundraiser?
Yes.
Yes.
For
it
the
is.
chapter?
Yes.
How does Sisters in Crime help mystery writers? What good does the organization do?
Well, we have a lot of programs involved that teaching how to write, how to critique, how to edit, all phases of writing, plus, you know, just general information about publishers, agents, and that kind of thing. So it's really an educational organization, and it is an international organization. And our main focus in Indianapolis, in Indiana, is on teaching literacy and working with libraries and that kind of thing.
We are really big on literacy. And
Very
so
big on literacy.
We've been working with libraries a lot, promoting Racing Can Be Murder and promoting reading in general.
Now, each of you separately, tell me about the story that you have in this anthology that has Indy 500 as a theme or as somehow a setting for it. Tony, you want to start?
Oh, I was okay.
Hoping Brenda would start. Huh?
No, it's no problem. My short story is about two little old ladies who find a body in a house across the street from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and decide that it must be murder, and that they're going to solve this. Who did it? They each wrote, and I want to say that this is before the bucket list came out. These ladies had written 60 things that they wanted to do after they turned 60.
Oh, okay.
And it's now getting later on. They did that when they were 60. That was some time ago, and they're starting to get a little worried that they may not get all of them done. So one of them had down that they wanted to solve a mystery, and so when this body showed up in the house across the street, it was like, oh, it's a miracle.
It's going to be a mystery.
It's got to be a. So and the police say that it was a suicide, and of course it naturally turns out to be murder, and that they were right, and they get themselves into trouble. And it was a lot of fun to write.
Sounds
It's a
great.
good story.
How about your story? What is it?
The reason he's
Nothing
laughing is because mine deals with an escort service.
Okay.
Which exists, but the main focus is actually it's kind of educational in a way.
As an escort service can
No,
be.
not the escort service, but the method of death and this kind of thing. And it really is meant to be a warning, because this actually happened to a friend of mine, not the escort service.
Oh, sure.
But so I just used that as a vehicle to get my point across.
And its connection to the 500?
The drivers,
They're using an escort service.
use the escort service, and the escort service, we all laugh, but you know, they have to go to a lot of events and different things, and they need somebody to go with them, and so it isn't always for nefarious purposes.
Mm-hmm. So they're pretty dates in some cases.
That's right. That's right.
That sounds great. Now you write on your own as well, have
Yes.
novels written. Tell us about do you have a series?
I do. I have a series. It's about a stay-at-home dad, former investigative reporter, who has a knack for solving mysteries that have a supernatural element to them. And there are 2 books out in the series, Second Advent and Angel's Whisper. And the third one, Saintly Remains, will be out in 2010.
So the angel part is the supernatural
Yeah,
part of it?
and when you think about Second Advent, too, that's supernatural, too, because when you think about the first Advent
Sure.
was when, Jesus Christ became a a baby. That was the first Advent part of it. And then what would be the second Advent would be the second coming, of course.
Oh.
And so there's an aspect of that where a woman believes she's receiving visions of Mary, the mother of Jesus, saying that the second Advent is coming, and so that's all part of the mystery. Is she on the level, and so anyway.
Sounds great.
Was similar thing.
And you have some written but not yet out.
Yes, there's the third in that series is not yet out.
And you're going to continue writing in that series. Yes? No?
I don't know. I've got a couple other things that I've been hired to do, and so we're going to look at those first before we get to the fourth book in that series.
And how about you, Brenda? What do you write?
Well, I've been an artist most of my life, and then I was a figurative artist, so I became a forensic artist. So I write a mystery series that has a person who does facial reconstruction on skulls, which is what I do for identification purposes. So that's what my main character does. And I also have a little paranormal in it as well.
And do you have books coming out? Or?
Well, I have one book out, Power in the Blood, and my second book is almost finished, and it's called Whiter Than Snow. So hopefully it can get out the latter part of next year.
That sounds wonderful. Back to Sisters in Crime, are you both members of a group where you share your work before it's done, or is that uncomfortable for you as writers to read to people before your work's published?
We have a critique group. And you can belong to it if you wish. It meets before the regular meeting every month, and we have a lot of members who do have their work critiqued.
What about you? Do you like that?
No, I don't personally like that.
Some people don't. What
See,
about you?
I'm very big on that. I belong to a critique group, and there are about 10 of us, and from a variety of different disciplines. I mean, we've got a person that does plays. We've got a person that does romances, some horror, sci-fi. And we all come together and we read each other's stuff and we make comments, and that's been very helpful. I also have a writing partner, Phil Dunlap, and he and I trade pages on a weekly basis and critique each other's work. And for me, that's very helpful.
That's helpful. I have a writing partner, my sister. And there's nobody any tougher on critiquing than your sister. Okay? So, but that's what we do. We trade our writing back and forth and critique each other.
But that doesn't mean you're writing the same book together.
Oh,
That
no,
means
no,
you're
no.
each writing
We write
your own
totally
work
different-
and then trade it
different
on.
things.
That's interesting. You both have writing partners. So, and you're both supporting Sisters in Crime.
Absolutely. This is a
I'm a
Mr.
Mr. Sister.
He's a
Mr.
Mr.
Sister.
Sister.
Mr. Sister.
Yes.
I like that. And let's
Yes.
tell our viewers again, what we have here is Racing Can
Racing
Be
Can Be
Murder.
Murder.
And that is an anthology edited together by Brenda Stewart. You sort of have the work by joining together for editing, and that's Brenda Stewart and Tony Perona, who both have a short story in this, and it's raising funds for Sisters in Crime, which does a lot of good in the community, particularly in literacy. So thank you very much for coming on to the
Thank you
show.
for
Thank you.
having
Appreciate
us.
It's great having you, so come back again.